College Hill Celebrity Edition Season 3, Episode 3. So Santana is still going off trying to figure out exactly who took his baby. The producers are asking Carlos, are you going to admit what happened? He said he's not admitting shit. And then we see Claudia basically saying that, she told Carlos that they would have each other's back and not throw each other under the bus. So Claudia decides to take Santana outside and let him know that nobody else in the house had anything to do with it. She just wanted to play a little joke on him and teach him a lesson for leaving the baby unsupervised. She doesn't want to reignite the issues that they have. And like I said, she didn't throw Carlos under the bus or mention that he was a part of it at all. So Santana's going off initially, telling Claudia that she's evil Knievel, just like the internet say about her, and he thought they was building a bond, and that Claudia better not close her eyes around this motherfucker. A couple minutes later, Claudia goes back up to him and apologizes again. Santana's being dramatic, talking about he feels so betrayed. But at the end of the day, Claudia's like, I do like you now that I met you in person, and I don't want this to ruin the relationship that we starting to build. I just was trying to teach you a cute lesson and let you know that you need to actually take this serious. So they hug it out, and Claudia's like, now you shouldn't be telling us that you traumatized tomorrow, because remember, he stayed home because he had a family emergency because the baby was missing. So there's no more traumatized. I don't have my baby stuff, so you should be at school tomorrow, right, Santana? So now we have a scene with Carlos and Nick, and Carlos is just still upset about the conversation he had with the teacher earlier after class and saying that nobody is going to tell him how to behave. And Nick is telling him, like, you disrupted the class, you were doing too much, you piped up on me too, and you got in your feelings. Carlos said he don't have no feelings, and that's the problem. Nick and everybody else wants him to be emotional so bad. Long story short, Carlos is like, we still got to get the project done, so I'm going to just do what I need to do, even though I already, feel how I feel and told them how I feel. So now they're going over all the homework assignments. Of course, Santana is lost, doesn't know what's going on because he hasn't been paying attention. He hasn't even been going to half of the classes. And Tamar is basically in her confessional saying that it's not even that the homework assignments are hard, it's just that it's a lot of work at one time. And I can understand that because it's an accelerated program. So if you guys ever did like a winter or summer class, if you've been to college, it's when they put like a 15-week class into 3 weeks. While you on like your Christmas break, you take a class or something like that. So I get it, but it's what a bunch of other college students sign up for every day, like myself. Carlos said that home is for comfort and joy and love. We shouldn't even have children at home working, and that the teachers across America need to stop giving out homework. Okay, so the next day they're getting ready for class, and as usual, Tamar and Saucy are the last ones down. Everybody else is in the car, and they're getting ready to leave. Tamar is always almost late, but she always makes it to the car. So she gets in, and then they're like, okay, Saucy is still not in the car. Are we leaving him again or not? Angela was like, no, we're not leaving him today. I'm going to go get him. So she went back in the house, got Saucy to come out, and they all made it to school on time. One band, one sound. Santana over here talking about, I got up, I persevered, and now I'm here. Hey, like, you did not persevere. They got you here. So they are going back to that introduction to Converge media class that really triggered Angela. So Tamar is just talking to her and letting her know that she shouldn't let the media get to her because she's come so far. Because China said that she's even afraid to put herself out there with little things like TikTok because she doesn't want to deal with like comments and judgment. And she's just like scarred from what social media has done to her and how negative it has been towards her. So they get to class. The professor pulls out a picture of Ida B. Wells, asks them, do they know who it was? It seemed like the main people in the class out of these 6 who knew who she was Angela and Carlos, so good on them for knowing their history. The teacher lets them know that they're doing a project inspired by her where they are trying to appeal to the Gen Z students of Xavier University with a topic that they want to advocate for that they feel like doesn't get a lot of light shed on it. And they're going to do a public service announcement about that topic. So Claudia and Tamar are doing voter registration, and Claudia is going to speak for their group. Carlos and Nick are going to do women's rights, and Carlos is going to speak for their group. And Carlos said that they're doing that because the sisters have been feeling like the brothers aren't fighting for them. And Angela and Saucy are going to do why aren't there more openly gay rappers in the mainstream industry. Now, I think this was also a good choice for them because it gives Angela the chance to work on the public speaking part because she's presenting, but at least she's not having to present with the emotions of her own story. She's presenting Santana's story. So they're shedding light on something important. They're sharing Santana's story, but they're also giving China the chance to work on her public speaking without having to make it so personal right now. So they all did their public service announcements. Everybody did well. Angela did especially great, and everybody was proud of her. I love the professor in this class. She always checks in on Angela. Seems like she really cares about the students. She's the type of professor I would like in real life. So these 6 are meeting with the academic advisor now. She wants to check in on them and figure out how their first week or couple weeks is going at the school. So they let her know that they like the classes and they like the professors, but that the homework was a lot for them. It just wasn't what they expected, and that they don't feel like they're having enough of a work-life balance where they could experience New Orleans, experience the city, even experience the school. Like while they were having this meeting, they were looking outside into the yard and seeing like all the students have a good time, and they're not a part of that because they're in this fast accelerated program. So they really don't have time to do nothing but work. So Carlos was very irritated, and the rest of them were taking it as him being disrespectful to the academic advisor. he basically told her that she's not letting them complain. And she was like, I am letting y'all complain, but I have something to say back. And he was like, yeah, but if nothing's going to change, then I don't need to waste time doing this. Like, I have a bunch of assignments, so there's no point in us sitting here spending time talking to you if nothing's going to change. Then the academic advisor also brought up how certain people aren't showing up to class. And Santana was in his confessional like, she need to just call me out if she talking about me. Don't try to be shady and slick, call me out. Say what you got to say. So after the academic advisor walks out and ends the meeting, Carlos is done and he walks out as well. So Nick, Tamar, Angela are sitting in there and they're like, you know, he's always so mad. What is his problem? Nick was like, he has a Napoleon complex because he's short. And Claudia was saying that she wants to like address Carlos and try to ask him, why does he act like this? And China said, I don't think you should do that because what if he goes off on you? But Claudia did it anyway when they got back to the house. They go back and forth. The conversation doesn't really get anywhere. Carlos is not really listening to her. And like Claudia said, he kind of comes off as a guy who really is a good guy or a decent guy, but he's like trying to play up this bad boy image, and it's like unnecessary. Angela's boyfriend, Derek, comes to visit her. They have a nice conversation. From what I see with the one conversation, he seems like he's good for her. He was very encouraging and motivating. And you could tell that China just lit up from just seeing him. So the next day we see them going to Covenant House. If you know anything about like counseling, mental health, public services, you know about Covenant House. They have multiple locations around the U.S. and they basically serve youth who are experiencing homelessness. So they meet a few people while they're there. They met a girl who was pregnant. She said she was about to give birth in 3 days and she had to work throughout her whole pregnancy. There was another guy who said that, you know, he had a job and he had a decent life, but he got hit by an 18-wheeler and it messed up his car and his job. Like he lost his car and his job and everything went downhill from there. And it seemed like when Carlos heard his story, it started to click for him that anybody can experience homelessness. So he helped that guy out, made a connection with him, took his phone number, called somebody to help him network. So it seems like he's evolving. And even Claudia said, like, I think I'm seeing Carlos evolve right in front of my eyes. There was also a gay boy that was there. Santana, you know, connected with him and saw himself in him a lot. So that was great. And Santana was just like, you know, I'm proud that he's living life the way that he sees fit already. Okay, so they back at the house. Everybody's doing homework. And Santana's on his way out talking about he's going to see a tutor. Mind you, it's 10 o'clock at night. He's all dressed up. He got makeup on and he's taking shots before he leaves the house. So everybody's like, this not really making sense, but it is what it is. Then Carlos makes a phone call to his girlfriend and Claudia and China come over and they ask the girlfriend, like, is this how he is? Like, is he this abrasive and all of this attitude on a normal basis? And the girlfriend was like, yes. And I give y'all permission to check Carlos. So you already know it's up now. The ladies are on him. They like, your girlfriend said you act like exactly what we said. And then the episode ends with Carlos going upstairs and talking to Tamar. And they realize when Tamar goes on Instagram that Saucy is not with a tutor, but he is at the club, posting on his Instagram stories, turning up, drinking with strippers, having a good old time. I will see y'all for episode 4 in a little while. Bye.